Hello family.
Hi.
It is Rebel Glam
and Aisha Nura.
Yes, the sisters. And today
we're going to be talking about relationships, and not just relationships, but our main topic really is knowing your worth. And staying in situations, which may be relationships or maybe other situations outside of a male-female partnership,
like a job or
like
something.
a job, anything like that, that is not conducive to your growth and it's not serving your highest and best good.
Exactly.
And the only reason that we're staying in these situations is because we forget what we are worth.
Exactly.
We forget how amazing we are. We forget how divine we are. So we sit in these situations as if I have no other option. And that's not the truth.
Now let me get some examples first off, because we don't want people for this to pass over anybody's head and they feel we don't mean that. Like, you, that man just beat you, like we mean you. You that
I forgot who I was doing this video with.
You that get about the place and you know, you might be out with your friends and somebody call you, or like it could be your woman, because we're not just dealing with men to women here. Your woman call you and say, George, you best come home or I will know. That's verbal abuse. So we're dealing with that. We're dealing with,
oh, you who man don't beat you and he talks to you really, really sweet, but then he talks to all his other women really, really sweet, and he makes you feel as if you are not worthy to be his one woman. Psychologically, that's abuse. So we do mean you.
And especially, like I said, let's touch on the outside, because people do get the relationship point, you know, but like outside of relationships, sometimes you find yourself in a situation, and maybe in your job or just even in your socialization, where you feel the need to fit in with other people who you really don't need to fit in with. You have you, so you don't. Why do you need to fit in? Like, for instance, and who corns mash, you know, as I say yesterday, make cuckoo. Like, we talk about like the whole bougie thing, right? Like, I realize that sometimes, like, it's like if you have a friend and they're bougie and you're not exactly bougie, you don't fit into that friend circle. So if you want to be with that friend, of course the bougie don't come down into the ghetto or even into the middle class. So you have to try your best to
move out of the ghetto or the middle class.
Exactly, to be friends with this person. And we mean you too. Because that's a real serious thing that I find, especially young people, they have to go through that. Sometimes they have a friend or something, they always feel they need to fit in, and that is what we want to deal with.
The thing here is, like, can we really love ourselves if we are continuously going into these situations where people are making us feel as if we are not good enough?
Exactly.
What is the point of this situation? I mean, of course I believe that every lesson, every situation has a blessing and a lesson, and we're supposed to learn something from everything. So what are you learning, honestly, in these situations where you're getting beat in the name of love, you're getting cheated on in the name of love, your friends only are your friends when they need something in the name of love? What's really going on?
Exactly, and the thing about it is that you have to be able to start feeling for people more than you feel for yourself. Nobody's saying that, especially in the relationship setting. A lot of times what happens is a person might know what, for instance, with a man beating a woman, because you don't get women beating men as much, but I have heard also situations of men being beaten by women because they feel for them, they don't hit women personally, so they take it. All of that is abuse. And suppose you're in a situation and you know, this is my woman and she has a bad temper, or this is my man and he has a bad temper. This person really does love you. You know that when you allow them still to treat you how they want to, that at the end of the day, they never better, they never get better, they never learn, because they don't face any consequences for what
no adversity actions. Exactly. And the thing is, like, we are treated how we allow people to treat us.
It's so true.
So if we sit in a situation and we convince ourselves this is the best situation that I really can come up with, because this is as good as I can get. I get as good as I give, and I'm only this good. Then we are supposed to be in that situation.
Exactly, and you don't deserve any better, but you have to look at yourself in the mirror and say, I deserve better. I deserve more than this. Whatever situation is, I can't live without this person. And that is like, it seems to be we have a deficiency of self-love, but we don't get to love ourselves. If you don't love yourself, then how can you really love anybody?
And that is the bottom line. If you do not love yourself, You don't love him. You don't love your job. You don't love your children. You don't love anybody because you don't love you. And that is the most important thing. You can't love God because you don't love you. You can't love your mother, your father, your man. You don't love you. So you're just pretty much a receptacle that's receiving all this additional energy, and you're not even like filtering to decide what energy is good for you or what energy should be allowed into your space.
Exactly. Because at the end of the day, you will do loving things. We're not saying that because a person might have low self-esteem that they can't act lovingly. Actually, the opposite is true. They may be acting very lovingly, but the reason behind why they're acting that way might be because that's what they think they're supposed to be doing, rather than of a true sense of, well, this is me. I love Nura. Henceforth, I'm choosing to act this way. It might be just be like, I want Nura to speak to me, because if she don't speak to me, then this goes wrong because we're in the same circle and blah blah. And I make a whole set of stuff in my head, and that's what happens with a lot of the people that we're seeing who are receiving, especially domestic abuse, especially being hit or being like verbally abused. Like when somebody says, "Oh, you're too fat and you're too stupid," or "You're an idiot," or these things. Why are we allowing people to say these things to us? Why are we taking this thing? Is it that we slightly believe it ourselves?
Do we slightly believe it ourselves? And yesterday a client said to me, you know, my pain body is really getting to me, and I don't know if my pain body is telling lies or if my pain body is telling me the truth. At the end of the day, it's about what you perceive to be true. So if you want to hear, oh, you know, you don't deserve to have a man who loves you for you. You don't deserve to have a situation where you can be happy. You don't deserve to be a woman that is making this amount of money, or you know, whatever you believe to be your reality will be your reality.
Exactly. Because the thing about it is, even if it's not, that's how you see it. So it still is your reality.
Exactly.
You're like an idiot. You're making good money. So you know what? Probably you're gonna lose your job.
Not only are you gonna lose your job, but then you start doing things where you're spending all this money. You're making money, but then you're spending more money than you're making. So then you're broke, because in your mind
you're supposed to be broke.
You're supposed to be broke.
Yeah, you can't even think. I think there's so many of us, you know, and we're women, so you know you always end up tapping back on the female side. But there's so many of us that we look at things and we decide for ourselves what is good enough. And you can't do that. You can't say, oh, this is good enough for me, or you know, we can't always. A mother, yes, is a survivor. She's a person who will say, my child eat and not me.
For sure.
And that's okay in that setting. That maternal instinct is all good for kids, because we're made like that to have kids so that our children can survive. But in your relationship, you're not this man's mother, so you can't be allowing him to live good and you
suffering.
You can't be suffering and the man is doing good.
If you're in a partnership
and then
one suffering, no, no, that is not sensuality. That is not sexuality. That is shite. Let's be real. Let's be real. If you're in a situation, in a partnership, in a relationship, and you're telling yourself, I have to make sure I put everything on the line so that he's able to achieve his goals, and I put my goals on the back burner. Like, y'all watch Waiting to Exhale. This is a real thing. This shit does happen. We put our energy into men, 100% of our energy into men, and then what happens? We have to
don't look sexy no more.
Don't look sexy. You look run-down. You look tired. You ain't achieving nothing. You can't be creative.
You're not having your you're not ejaculating.
You're not ejaculating. I mean, at the end of the day, there are amazing men and women out there.
And I think people limit themselves by, as soon as they're looking for someone, they don't find them right away. They say, all the good men are gone, men are dogs, all this sort of thing. And it's like she said, well, that's what you're going to see because that's what you're looking for.
That's right.
And you know what? I would like to, this is just my personal thing I'm always talking about. People always say things like, the good man gone. Maybe the good man don't have the job that you think he should have. Maybe he doesn't have everything on your checklist. Does that mean he's not a good man, or should he get a chance?
And my thing is, you may not be able to find a good man because you are not yet a good woman.
Wow.
So we find what is our reflection. So whenever I'm in a relationship, I know that I'm dealing with me. It's me in a male body, but it's me. And when I finish that relationship, it's because I am no longer that person. I have grown. I have elevated to a different situation. And if you're in a situation with, losers, and you continue to date these losers, you're not winning. it's not like, you know, your life is, no, you're attracting who you are. So you need to first raise your vibration in order to find that good man who you think does not even exist anymore.
Exactly, because from the time that we go negative, there's nothing attractive about us. The same thing we were saying, you do everything to help another person, and then that person is awesome, and then they're looking at you and saying, but you don't reflect me. Like, what's wrong with you? Like, I really do love and appreciate the fact that you sacrificed for me, but what are you like? Why are you like that? Because that's what a person is going to do. You know, they're going to say, but you know, you don't match me. You know, I can't be a tuxedo and use a grass skirt.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
At the end of the day, you've helped me grow so much,
Thank
but
you.
you're not anybody anymore. That's like, oh, what's whose name that runs Usain Bolt? What happened to him and the woman? Like, he just left her. Now he's like this man who has all these gold medals, and now he has a new girlfriend, because his other girlfriend, I don't know, maybe she wasn't ambitious enough in his mind, maybe she just supported him too much. We need to just be sure.
Right, you have to also be you, because the thing about it is that you might be trying so hard to keep a man. You can't get into anybody's head, so you can't say somebody's gonna leave you if you pursue your own goals or whatever. If a person's not willing to love you when you're just trying to be yourself, then why do you need them?
Let's be realistic. In 2012,
yeah, seriously,
we do not keep men. Okay? Men decide.
There's no such thing as how to keep a man.
There's no it doesn't exist. This is fun. I like doing videos with Selena. Okay.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
All right, family. We just rambled a lot, but we sent a lot of information. The main thing is we want you to remember that you are divine.
Exactly.
You are amazing.
Exactly.
You are co-creating these situations. So you are choosing what your reality is right now.
It's true.
So be mindful, be happy, and be peace, be love, be better.
Yes, all of that, and stop letting other people get into your head. Decide what you want for yourself. Even if what you want for yourself is not good, at least know, well, hey, I want this, it's really bad, but I want it, and then you can decide, do I want to be better? But you can't do it for other people, or else it's not worth anything.
You cannot.
Right? When you do it for somebody else, it ain't worth nothing. And anytime you get a man and you're saying, oh, he changed me, he did so much for me, I was this, I was that, and now he made me this and that. That man is going to be ready to move on from you in some point in time, because he's going to be like, well, everything that you are, you know, was all me. He's going to be looking for somebody to better him. And vice versa. How can a woman go in a relationship? A man is saying that, and all of a sudden now he get real hot and everything working for him. But she might be saying to herself, yeah, but everything you already had to give you can't come up with nothing by yourself. And mentally she has already moved on, even though she cares about you. So love, everybody.
Enough love.
Yeah. Mwah.
Mwah, mwah, mwah.